Good morning, Mr. Parker. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Can't complain. So, I understand that you were in a boating accident.
That's correct.
Can you tell me a little bit about what happened that day?
Yeah, so me and my friend Hunter were entered into a competition for largemouth bass fishing. And we were out fishing. We hadn't caught anything until around noon when we started getting some bites. And then the competition ended at 1. So by the time we had actually caught a fish, we only had maybe like 10 minutes to get back to the weigh station,
Okay.
which was on the other side of the lake. So we were heading back that way, and we were just kind of joking around, and then out of nowhere, we hit a canoe that this family was in.
Okay, can you tell me about what happened after you struck the canoe?
Yeah, so we heard some screaming and some cries for help, and we saw this family in the water.
Okay.
It was a husband and wife and their 2 children. And so, you know, we jumped in and tried to help them. Yeah, some of them were bleeding and they seemed kind of dazed and confused. And one of them, it looked like, had maybe a broken arm.
Okay. And what happened after you got them? Did you get them out of the water? What happened?
Well, we also used the radio to call emergency services, and they were able to help us rescue them.
Okay. So, what's going on now?
So we just found out that they want us to pay them $2.5 million for their medical bills because it turns out they were injured a lot more seriously than we thought.
Okay. Have they named you in any sort of litigation, or is it a demand letter?
They're threatening to sue.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what do you think about this situation?
Well, I feel really bad.
I understand.
And, you know, I feel like it really was my fault. So, you know, I do want to help them in any way I can. But, you know, I don't have a whole lot of money.
Yeah. So we have a couple of options of things that we can do. We need to kind of research this a little bit, look into exactly what we can do, but there may be a way for us to kind of displace this onto the Los Diablos Bass Federation and their to, you know, shift the liability to them. I understand that you know, feel really bad about what happened and everything, but we still need to, you know, protect your interests in this situation. So, have you ever had anything like this happen before?
No, never.
Okay. All right. And did you have, was there any police report filed, anything?
Yeah, after the accident, the police asked us a lot of questions, but I haven't really heard anything from them
Okay.
since then.
Did you give an official statement?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll have to look into that as well. Were you issued any citations?
No.
Okay. All right. Did anyone from the Bass Federation contact you, ask you any questions?
No, they didn't.
Okay, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
No.
Okay. All right. So, let me just kind of recap this. You were in the bass competition. This was, which day was it?
This was on Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. So on Saturday, you were in the bass competition. You were headed back to the weigh station. Were there multiple weigh stations? How does this work?
No, there's just one weigh station.
Okay. And which lake was this on?
This was Lake Big Heron.
Okay, Big Heron Lake. All right. And so you're in your boat.
Mhm.
Were you driving or was somebody else driving?
I was driving.
Okay. And you're driving your boat. Sorry, don't mind my notes here. So you were driving your boat on Blue Heron Lake to the single weigh station, and out of nowhere, you heard a crash, collided with a canoe, saw a family in the water. You guys jumped in, radioed for help. You assisted with that. Did you take them to shore on your boat, or did someone come out and get them?
No, yeah, it was so we called the emergency services, and their crews showed up to rescue them and took them to the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's at like 6:30.
Okay. And so, all right, we have all this down. So we have a couple of options. Before we get started, this will obviously require a retainer, which we have the retainer form, talks about the expenses and options that we have as well. So my legal secretary will provide you with that, and then if you choose to move forward with this, we can go from there after we get some payment. Okay?
Great.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you at like 7:14.